In the previous lesson, we see how to set up Dreamweaver to be able to work with PHP in building REST APIs in PHP that connects to my MySQL database and pull data from MySQL database. And we tested it and it's working perfectly okay. As you can see, it pulls data from the database, all right? So now we are going to see how to consume this API using a form, a HTML form. We are going to do that using jQuery and HTML. So the step-by-step is here in my website, kindtoothegenius.com. You'll see link to this particular page in the description box of this video just below. You'll see a link to this page. So follow the step-by-step. Also follow the video is also okay. If you've not subscribed, hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss an update. And also, if you subscribe, you motivate me to keep making these lessons. And also, if you have any challenges following my classes or with the programming or databases or application development, let me know. I'm going to help you immediately as soon as possible. So I'm going to now close Notepad++ because we've decided that it's better for us to use Dreamweaver. So let's close Notepad++ and then we are going to use Dreamweaver, all right? So this is Dreamweaver window open, and now if I make any changes right here, it's going to reflect on the update on the server that has been published. For instance, if I come to this point and echo something, so let's say echo just testing, okay, blah blah blah. So I've just written something and I'm going to just click on save. I'm just going to hit this button right here. Just click on this button. No, cancel. So click on services and just click on this button and it's completed just like that. If I go back to this page and I hit the refresh button, you can see, so I think something is broken. So I think I need to put a semicolon here. So there's some of the syntax error can be a problem. Yes, save. Okay, so I've made a change and hit the update button. The upload button, or it's called the push button. And if I go back at this point and refresh, you can see the code we just wrote, just testing. You can see it right here. It updated immediately. We're able to test it on the server. And the same thing when we upload it to the cloud in cPanel, we also able to do this and update it immediately. All right, so let's follow the steps for today. Today we want to display this file instead of on as a JSON object. We are going to display it on a web page. So the first thing we want to do is to create a HTML page. So I'm going to just restore this to this position so that we'll be able to see everything at the same time. All right. So I'm going to just come here, right click, and I'll go to file and say new, and say new HTML, and say create. So this HTML file we've created, I'm going to just say save as file, save as index.html, index.html. All right. So once you do that, you can see that the file appears at this point, and it gives you a few markup for the code. So this is where we are at this point. So what we can do, because we want to write the code in jQuery to make a REST API call to the services of PHP and fetch this data and display it on a web page for us, maybe as a list item or that list of items. So the first thing we can do is to import or to add the jQuery to the HTML page using the Cdn link. You can actually download the jQuery file and add it to your directory, your local directory, but I prefer using the Cdn link. So to get the Cdn link, you can simply go to jQuery in Google. Just say jQuery Cdn link, as you can see, and once it comes up, you go to this place and you get the Cdn link. You just say a jQuery tree minified is okay, and you see the Cdn link. Let me just increase this. You can see the Cdn link. So once you copy it and you paste it, you can remove some unnecessary things. For instance, integrity, cross-origin, just take them out. They are all crap. All right. So I'm going to just copy the one I already have here, and I'm going to put it in the head/head section. And I'm going to also write another script. I think I copied something else. So I'm going to write a second script tag, so that in this case we have another script tag, so that we can write our jQuery code inside this script /script tag. Because if you are writing jQuery code, it has to be inside a script tag, right? So this is fine. Let me give this document a title. Let's give it REST API in PHP. So it doesn't matter, you can give it any name, anything you like. So let's put something in the body. Let's just put some kind of caption that shows that we are going to put a list of students there. So inside the body/body, I'm going to put in div tag h2 list of students, and I'm going to say ordered list ID is equal to students, right? So inside this ordered list, we are going to add list. We are going to write li/li, and we are going to write in the names of the students or the data we have from the API. For now, let's just save and just test everything. So I'm going to just click on this, and I'm going to just click on upload. Meanwhile, let's see. Let me just remove this just testing here. Let me take it out, and let me upload everything again. So just click on save all, and it uploads, right? That is fine. So if I go back at this point, let me just test this to make sure it's still working. It's still working. And now if I go to index.php or index.html, you can see that it gives us list of students, and our page is already working. It's been deployed to the server and it's working. Don't forget, the server we are using is not Tomcat or Apache. It's not Apache Tomcat, but IIS, which is very easy to configure, and you have it in Windows by default. For the most practical, for most of the case, you have it already on Windows. All right. So the next thing we want to do is to now write the jQuery script. So instead of writing it one by one, I'm going to copy it and paste, and I'm going to take you through exactly what is happening there. So let me just copy it and paste there, and I'm going to explain what is happening. So if you copy it, paste it right inside the script/script tag right here. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to shift this a bit outwards. I'm going to actually collapse it completely. All right, so what we did is, first of all, we started to make a request. In PHP, to make a REST request, you use $.get, and then you specify the URL and specify the callback function to execute. So $get. So I'm going to, for instance, let me just write it out for you, because Dreamweaver have IntelliSense to help you write your code. So if I say $.get, once I do this, and okay, so it doesn't actually give me any much IntelliSense. So $get. Okay, so you can see. So you can see it says URL, data, and success. So URL, data, and success. The URL is the one we passed in, and we need a callback function to execute. That callback function will have the data that will be returned and status, and then the function is going to now execute the following code. So the first thing we are doing here is to declare a student list object. This student list object is going to capture the data that is returned by is going to capture the data that is returned by this GET request and put it in a variable called student list and pass it as JSON. So it's going to extract the JSON data and put it into an array called student list, because this data comes as JSON. So use JSON.parse to capture a JSON data and put it in a student list. So we are going to say use a for loop. We are going to iterate through the student list array that is returned. And for each of the items, we are going to extract the ID, the first name, the last name, and the location. These are the things available there. We are saying that ID concatenated with student list I.id, the first student.id. So this ID, first name, last name, and location, they are the properties or the values corresponding to each of the key. Remember, in JSON, we have something like this. Let's go back to the JSON so that you see how the key value pairs work. So we have the key ID, value 1, key first name, value Kyneton. So here we have ID, the key, and then this is the value. This is the key, this is the value. So extract all the keys and the values and assign it into a variable called student, the student right here. So after that, you now write this student as a list item inside the ordered list. So we have, if you go down, let me just take out this. Let me remove this so that we don't have an error. So we are going to write it into the student list, because we are attaching it into the students, into the students, what is it called? The students, the components, is it components? Yeah. So we have the student here. This has an ID element, that's the right word, the student element. So we are selecting the student element and we are appending this. Student is equal to li, the item, and li. So we are appending it to the student element, and we are selecting the student element using the hash key, because that is how to select the selector for the ID for jQuery. So after that, you now append it to this, and then it's going to appear in this place. Let's just test it just to see. Meanwhile, if you want, you can take some time to read the explanation here. Let's now test it out to see how it goes. So I'm going to come to localhost. At this point, I'm going to go to index.html. So, okay, now we've not published it. So let's go back here. So I'm going to just update by clicking on the puts button. And you can see that I'm going to say yes to all. And I'm going to come here and refresh the page. You can see that they have been displayed in a web page now, not as JSON, but as a list of items. Now later on, we are going to see how to use Bootstrap to format this to display well, or we can even display it on a table. So this is how to make a GET request to our services of API and display on a web page. And we complete, at this point, this completes part 2. We've been able to write a REST web service in PHP. We've been able to create a form, use JQuery to make a GET request, fetch data, and display that data on a web page. So on to part 3. Part 3, we are now going to be talking about how to make a post request. We are going to create a form to make a post request to insert data into MySQL database. If this has been informative for you, like this video and also click on the subscribe button to subscribe to my channel.